Hey everyone, I'm Olivia Bennett, 29, and this is the story of how my family's betrayal on my wedding day pushed me to tear down their corrupt empire and build my own legacy. Born into the Bennett dynasty in New York City, I thought my place in our real estate empire was secure, until a single Instagram post captioned "Bennett Family United" shattered that illusion. My hands trembled as I saw my parents, siblings, and cousins celebrating without me. The day after I said "I do," they didn't just exclude me, they tried to erase me. But I inherited more than their name. I inherited their cunning. Before I dive into how I turned their betrayal into my triumph, drop a comment with where you're watching from. Hit that like button and subscribe if you've ever had to stand up to toxic family. Trust me, this story of reclaiming my worth will keep you glued to the screen. The Bennett name was royalty in Manhattan. My father, Charles Bennett, built Bennett Properties into a juggernaut, with skyscrapers and luxury condos dotting the skyline. Our Upper East Side townhouse, with its marble floors and private elevator, was a monument to wealth. As the youngest of three, behind my brother Ethan, 34, and sister Claire, 32, I grew up in a world of galas, private schools, and expectations heavier than the chandeliers in our dining room. Dad groomed Ethan to inherit the throne, despite his reckless spending and half-baked ideas. "Ethan's the future of Bennett," Dad would say at board dinners, while I sat silently, trained by my mother, Victoria, to smile and nod. Mom, a former model turned socialite, orchestrated our family's image with precision, ensuring we dazzled at charity balls and in Page 6 columns. But behind the glamour, I was invisible. My straight A report cards, my debate team trophies, none of it mattered next to Ethan's charm or Claire's socialite status. I was different. Numbers and strategy came naturally to me. While Ethan partied through Yale, I graduated summa cum laude from Columbia with degrees in finance and urban planning. My MBA from NYU Stern, where I topped my class, earned a curt "Well done, Olivia" from Dad before he pivoted to Ethan's latest golf trip. Determined to prove myself, I fought for a role at Bennett Properties. The board, impressed by my thesis on sustainable development, overruled Dad's hesitation and hired me as a project director. My office was a closet compared to Ethan's penthouse suite, but I didn't care. Within 18 months, my projects, a green residential tower, a community-focused retail hub, boosted profits by 25%. Ethan's ventures, meanwhile, bled money on overpriced condos nobody wanted. The data was clear, but Dad's loyalty was blind. Claire had no interest in the business. Married to Nathan Wells, a hedge fund heir, she lived for charity luncheons and Instagram aesthetics. "Why stress over spreadsheets, Olivia?" she'd say at our tense coffee meetups. "Find a rich husband and relax." Her words stung, but I kept pushing. Then I met Ryan Carter at a sustainable housing conference, a civil engineer who'd bootstrapped his way through CUNY. Ryan was brilliant, grounded, and unimpressed by the Bennett name. His humor and warmth disarmed me. When I brought him to our townhouse, Mom's smile froze at his beat-up Toyota. "He's earnest," she said, her tone dripping with judgment. Dad barely asked about Ryan's work before retreating to his study with Ethan. "He doesn't fit our world," Dad later told me. "You're a Bennett. Marry strategically." Furious, I shot back. "Ryan's worth 10 of your strategic matches." But their disapproval only grew. Ryan proposed on our 2-year anniversary on a quiet Brooklyn rooftop with the Manhattan skyline as our backdrop. His ring, simple emerald cut, chosen with care, meant more than any diamond in Mom's vault. When I showed my family, Claire smirked. "Cute. Lab grain?" Ethan joked about budget bling, while Mom said, "It's sweet." Dad's congratulations were perfunctory, his eyes on his phone. Soon after, I noticed I'd been dropped from the family's Bennett Inner Circle group chat. Claire claimed it was for wedding surprises, but the lie felt flimsy. Ryan and I wanted a fall wedding in Brooklyn Botanic Garden, intimate and personal. Mom had other plans. "A Bennett wedding demands the plaza, June, 400 guests," she declared, overriding our vision. Every choice, flowers, Menu, even my dress, became a battle. Mom booked a designer gown I hated, insisting my pick was too plain for our status. Invitations went to Dad's business allies, not our friends. Ryan stayed calm, but I saw his frustration. "This isn't our wedding," he said one night. "It's their show." At work, the exclusion intensified. Ethan was invited to closed-door meetings with Dad and the CFO, while my access to key financial systems was quietly restricted. When I questioned it, Dad snapped, "Focus on your wedding, Olivia. The business is handled." But I was a director with legal responsibilities. Digging into project files, I found discrepancies: millions diverted to offshore accounts, inflated expenses, falsified compliance reports. I raised it with the CFO, who stammered, "Talk to your father." The next day, my system access was cut further, citing technical upgrades. Ethan snarked when I confronted him. "Stay in your lane, sis. Family loyalty trumps your numbers." The message was clear. I was an outsider in my own company. 3 weeks before the wedding, my office was moved to a basement cubicle. My assistant reassigned. My projects reassigned to Ethan. At a board meeting, Dad praised Ethan's leadership on deals I'd closed. Claire texted me, "Stop stressing. Weddings are for love, not work." But it wasn't just work. At a family dinner, I overheard Ethan and Dad whispering about a Bahamas retreat post-wedding. When I asked, Mom deflected. "Just a quick getaway." A brochure in her purse confirmed a luxury resort booking for the entire family, except me and Ryan. The betrayal was crystallizing, but I clung to hope. Surely, my wedding would remind them I was a Bennett too. The wedding day was flawless. Blue skies, roses blooming in the plaza's ballroom. I wore the dress I'd chosen, not Mom's, a small victory. But the guest list was a who's who of Dad's investors, not our loved ones. Half the VIPs, key clients, canceled last minute, citing conflicts. Dad walked me down the aisle, his smile tight. "You look presentable," he said, then added, "I hope you're ready for what comes with this choice." His words chilled me, but Ryan's warm gaze grounded me. Our vows, written from the heart, promised partnership through any storm. At the reception, the Bennetts sat front and center, but their distance was palpable. Dad's toast was a corporate pitch about Bennett's strength. Mom fussed over table settings. Ethan scrolled his phone, smirking at texts. Claire barely looked up from her champagne. During a quiet moment, I checked Instagram. My cousin Mia, 17, had posted a photo from the Bahamas. My parents, Ethan, Claire, Nathan, aunts, uncles, cousins, all grinning on a yacht. The caption read, "Bennett family complete. Best reunion ever. Hashtag Bahamas bound." Posted the day after my wedding. My breath caught. They'd planned a family reunion without us, celebrating their complete family while I was on my honeymoon. Ryan found me in the bridal suite, tears streaming. "They left us out," I whispered, showing him the post. His jaw tightened. "This is cruel, Olivia. But we're your family now." He was right, but the pain was raw. As we left the reception, Dad handed me a velvet box, a key to a small condo in a Bennett property. "A starter home," he said, as if it were a favor. I thanked him, but his gift felt like a consolation prize. Our Maldives honeymoon was paradise. Turquoise waters, starry nights, but the betrayal gnawed at me. Jet-lagged, I scrolled Instagram again, finding more photos. My family toasting, laughing, captioned, "Bennett legacy lives on." I felt erased. Over breakfast, I told Ryan, "We're cutting the trip short. I need to handle this." He nodded. "Whatever you do, I'm with you. But make it about justice, not revenge." Back in New York, I went to the office, ignoring shocked stares. My office was a storage room now, my nameplate gone. I marched to Ethan's suite. His assistant tried to stop me, but I barged in. "What's this about, Ethan?" "My office, my access. Why am I being pushed out?" He leaned back, smug. "Dad's string-lining. Married women don't need big roles, right? Besides, you're on your honeymoon." "And the Bahamas trip?" I snapped. He shrugged. Family bonding. You were busy. I left, fury building. At home, using my remaining credentials, I downloaded every file I could access. Financials, emails, board minutes. The truth was damning. Bennett Properties was laundering money through shell companies, falsifying environmental reports, and siphoning investor funds to cover Ethan's failed ventures. Dad had approved it all. Ryan stayed up with me, brewing coffee as I compiled evidence. "This is bigger than us," I said. "They're breaking laws, risking the company, and me as a director." He nodded. "You're doing the right thing." I contacted Sarah Klein, a corporate whistleblower attorney known for her fearlessness. "This is securities fraud, tax evasion, and more," she said, reviewing my files. "You're a director, Olivia. You could be liable if you stay silent. But exposing this will end Bennett Properties as you know it." I thought of the employees, the communities we'd served, the legacy my grandfather built. "I have to stop this," I said. "Not just for me, for everyone they've hurt." Over 4 days, Sarah and I built a case, backing up evidence on secure drives. Each document, emails of Dad directing funds to offshore accounts, Ethan's forged compliance forms, felt like a betrayal. I cried, grieving the family I'd never truly had. Ryan held me. "You're not destroying them. They did this." On day 5, Claire texted, "Board meeting Thursday. Dad says you don't need to come. Focus on settling in." The final straw. They were planning to marginalize me further, leaving me vulnerable to their crimes. That night, another Instagram post from Mia showed my family at a Bahamas gala, captioned "Bennett Pride." I typed into the family chat I'd been removed from, but Sarah's tech guy had hacked. "Enjoy the party. It's your last as a free family." Then I acted. I resigned as director, emailing the board and corporate counsel, citing unethical practices. I froze the company's payroll system for 48 hours, using emergency access, triggering chaos. Then, with Sarah, I sent whistleblower reports to the IRS, SEC, and EPA, detailing every violation with evidence. "No turning back now," Sarah warned. I nodded, pressing send. The fallout was swift. By 6 a.m., my phone lit up with texts. "Ethan, what did you do to payroll? Dad's livid." "Dad, stop this now, Olivia. Come to the office." "Mom, how could you hurt us like this?" I forwarded everything to Sarah, staying silent. By noon, the board called an emergency meeting. Dad's tone shifted to pleading. "Let's talk, Olivia. We can explain." I ignored him. At 4 p.m., an SEC investigator called, confirming they'd launched a probe based on my tip. The war was on. The next day, Dad showed up at our temporary Soho loft, bypassing security. He pounded on the door, shouting, "Olivia, open this now." Ryan wanted to intervene, but I whispered, "Let him stew." For 15 minutes, Dad ranted, "You're destroying our legacy over a vacation? You're pathetic." Finally, I opened the door. He stormed in, disheveled, eyes wild. "The SEC's raiding our offices. The board's in chaos. What's your game?" I stayed calm. "No game, Dad. You've been breaking laws. Tax evasion, fraud, environmental violations. I'm a director. I won't go down with you." He scoffed. "Business isn't clean, Olivia. You're naive. And you're a criminal." I shot back. "You excluded me from the family, the business, even a damn reunion. This is about protecting myself." He tried a new tack, softening. "Come back. We'll make you CEO, give you real power." I laughed. Too late. "The feds have everything." His face fell. "You'll ruin us, your mother, Claire, everyone." "You did that," I said. "Not me." He left, defeated, the first time I'd seen him broken. The weeks that followed were a media storm. Bennett Properties stock tanked as investigations leaked. Dad was forced to step down. Ethan faced charges for fraud. Employees lost jobs, and I grieved for them. But the corruption had to end. Mom called, sobbing. "The neighbors won't speak to me." My gala was canceled. Claire showed up at my new office, a consulting gig with a rival firm, tears in her eyes. "Dad might go to jail." Was a vacation worth this? I invited her in, showing her the evidence: emails, bank records, forged reports. This isn't about the Bahamas, I said. They were stealing, lying, putting us all at risk. Claire's face shifted from anger to shock. I didn't know, she whispered. The reunion, I thought you'd be busy with your honeymoon. The caption meant Aunt Linda's recovery, not you. The explanation softened a sting, but the corporate crimes were undeniable. What now? She asked. The company will survive, but changed. So will we. I said. Bennett Properties restructured, selling assets to pay fines. Dad settled with the SEC, avoiding jail but losing his board seat. Ethan served 8 months for securities fraud. I used my whistleblower settlement to start Bennett Carter Development, a firm focused on sustainable, community-driven projects. 6 months later, I stood in our Brooklyn office, watching our logo go up. Ryan grinned. Your grandfather would love this. Our first project, a mixed-use hub with affordable housing, won local praise. I launched the Bennett Truth Initiative, funding education for kids from toxic families, turning my pain into purpose. A year later, we gathered for Mom's birthday at her downsized apartment. Dad was quieter, humbled. Claire's new nonprofit, Empowering Women in Business, was thriving post-divorce. Ethan was in Miami, writing a blog nobody read. We talked, carefully, honestly. We failed you, Dad said, but we're trying. I nodded, boundaries firm but open to healing. As Ryan and I walked home, I felt free. The Bennett name no longer owned me. I built my own legacy, one of truth, not lies. If you fought toxic family or reclaimed your power, share below. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories of resilience. I'm Olivia Bennett, and this is my truth. Build yours.